He is the power behind the scenes of some of the biggest names in the music industry. We are talking about legendary music executive publicist Angelo Ellerbee, who has helped shape careers of artists like Michael Jackson, Mary J. Blige, Alicia Keys, Dionne Warwick, Frankie Beverly, and more. In his new book, Before I Let You Go, he reveals secrets to his success intended to inspire others. Joining us this afternoon, author and CEO of XX Exposure, Angelo Ellerbee. So nice to see you sitting in this chair.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. And what an introduction. Thank you.
You can't believe it about you,
Sometimes I can believe it and sometimes I can't.
You want to know that guy.
I want to meet him sometime.
Okay. It is so great to be able to talk to you about this. This is your latest book,
Yes.
Before I Let Go. What motivated, not only the title, but motivated you to write this particular book?
I just think that this world is in such a displacing time and place, really. I get very, very depressed by what I see: racism, prejudice, drug addicts, alcoholics, people who have just given up on life. Mm-hmm. I am so very fortunate. I am so very blessed. God has been so good to me. I have gone through many trials and tribulations, but He allows me to still stand. And so as I grow older, and this is my fourth book, I wanted to give something back. So it's a template to my life, and yes, I do include some of the artists, but that's no more to sell the book. Yeah. The book is for the HIV positive victims. It's for the homelessness. It's for those people who've given up on life. Mm-hmm. That's what this book is about.
You just want to send them the messages that nothing is impossible.
Nothing is impossible. I come from Newark, New Jersey. My mom had the 8th grade education. She was a waitress, but she was full of life and giving life and supporting life and taking her 6 children and giving them life. Mm-hmm. She gave me survival tools. She told me what I needed to do. And all the things that she taught me is the things that I used on Mary J. Blige and so many others. Mm-hmm. My degree is in fashion designs. And I'm very, very fortunate that my mother was able to put me through school. But I've been doing this thing for about 55 years, from designer to dancer to actor to now doing what I'm doing. I never had anyone to mentor me outside of my mother and my 4 sisters. Until I met this gentleman by the name of James M. Tumay, a 2-time Grammy Award winner.
Yes.
And I used to do fashion shows in the city of Newark, and particularly during the AIDS and HIV period, where it was never ever defined in that time of how you can get this disease. Mm-hmm. I really wanted people to have an understanding. It wasn't because you were gay, you get this disease, or you can't touch. I wanted to educate, stimulate, and motivate, and bring awareness to my community. So we would do these fundraising fashion shows. 2,000, 3,000 people would come out. We did a show once, and this was right on the edge of things exploding on HIV and AIDS. Mm-hmm. I called on to models in New York City like Patty Cleveland and Beverly Johnson and Iman and Carmen de Lavalon and Joffrey Holder. So we all came together and we did this fashion show. The key thing, it was a 2-part fashion show. The key thing in this was each student, we had about 35 desks there where they would take pamphlets. Mm-hmm. They would have to give pamphlets, they would have to learn about the disease, and you got in free. Okay. So you can see all of this. These were the things that were important to me, that my people had some understanding outside of the disease, bringing culture to them. They never saw ballet dancers, they never saw this, So this was when I was like 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that my mother used to say to me, she said, "You know, you're great." I said, "Oh, well, thank you." She said, "No, you're great because you're my child.
Okay.
You're going to be great. You're greater because you're God's child. But I want you to grow to be the greatest."
And so it sounds like to me that in a way, look, you've built this tremendously successful business, this really highly respected career. But it sounds like at the base of everything you do, even though you were helping make people stars and helping make them successful, is that part of you, one, giving back to the community, but also lifting up those people who, for whatever reason, aren't able to lift up themselves?
I think it's a combination of both. Mm-hmm. I think that They used to say that it takes a village to raise a child. I think it takes communities to raise a culture and to bring culture and to bring awareness to them. And I'm just trying to do just a teeny bit of God's work.
Can I ask you, this book you said is about sharing some of the lessons in life and reminding people that no matter how low you get, you can always come up.
Yes.
What do you think is the biggest lesson that you share, the one that just about anybody that picks up the book can take to the bank?
I always tell people what I do is not instant coffee. What I do is brewed coffee, and it takes time. So I remember back in the early 2000s, there was a young lady that they called the Queen of Hip Hop, and her name was Mary J. Blige. And I remember her coming to my office. When you got on the elevator and the door was open, you were in my office. So I was standing there, and she was an hour late. And so she walked in. She was from Yonkers, New York. You got to remember, I'm from Newark, New Jersey. So we gonna bump heads. So she said, "Is Angelo here?" "Mr. Ellerbee?" "Whatever." "Oh, no. I'm not a whatever. I am Angelo Ellerbee. And since you're 1 hour late, we're not gonna do this today. Let's do this tomorrow." The next day, she's 2 hours early. And then we got into the 24-week artist development program, teaching them about taxation, splits and publishing and all the things that they need to learn. These kids got to wake up and understand this is the business of music. This ain't singing, put it over here. Learn the business of music. Learn how to select a manager, the qualifications of a manager. Just don't go get the boy next door. You need some, management is the next level of your career. It's courtship with the manager, courtship first. Then engagement. Wait to marry them, because when you marry them, you're gonna marry them for the 5 years of your career. Be careful. Everybody demons come in disguises. You have to be aware of everyone that you bring to be a part of your team. It's really important because down the road, you wind up, I remember working with DMX. I managed him and I overseed his Bloodline record label for many years. And there was always a large number of people. And I used to sit back and I used to say to him, "Do you understand what recoupment is? They're going to get theirs before you get yours. So don't come to me and say to me, they're shorting me. No, you're shorting yourself." So it's important that you understand what that agreement is. And if you can't read, tell your lawyers to break it down to a 3rd grade level so that you will be able to comprehend and walk away with something. Walk away with at least your Social Security benefits. That's what this is.
And I think that a lot of people come from backgrounds where nobody's ever had any conversation with them. They've never had this much money, this much, fame, renown, or whatever. They need someone that's going to tell them the truth.
And so the truth is never on strike with me. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you, and you can fire me. And I always say, you can fire me. I'll give you your money back. At the end of the day, I can't do my job if I'm not doing my job by telling you good, bad, and the indifference.
Because that's why you're there. The city of Newark is honoring you by renaming a street. Your reaction to this, your hometown's honor?
I am blown away, particularly because of the street that they selected. The street that they selected to renamed after me is where I grew up at. And I just so wish that my mom was around, because I used to see her walk up these 2 hills each and every single day to go to that restaurant which she was a waitress at. I think that she has to be smiling upon, because it's more her than it is me. I really wish they would have named it either Ellerbee's Way versus Angelo Ellerbee's Way. I am thrilled, and I'm so very appreciative. I'm humbled, and I'm excited all at the same time.
And you have more than earned this.
Thank you.
You really have.
Thank you.
DXX. DXX Exposure, it's double exposure, DXXPOSURE.com.
Correct.
And folks can find out more about what it is you do, how many people's lives you've changed, how many of those big names out there are because they're repped by you.
Thank you.
That's with no question. The book, Before I Let You Go,
Yes.
you can find it where books are sold, Amazon.
Yes.
Before I Let You Go.
And we're #1 in 4 categories.
Am I surprised?
No.
No.
God is good.
Thank you so much for sitting down
pleasure.
with us this afternoon, and thank you for not hiding your face behind that hat you usually wear, or sitting over there in the dark looking at other people telling them what to say.
Thank you so very much.
You deserve all of this.
I really appreciate it.
You truly do.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll be right back.